Step into a world where love battles duty, where family secrets unravel under the glow of lamplight, and where silent sacrifices light the way to redemption. This is a tale of honor, forgiveness, and a heart finding its home, crafted just for you. If you're ready to be swept away, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell to join our journey of timeless stories. Let's begin. The air in the old Boston church smells of wax and regret. Dim chandeliers cast a golden haze, their light trembling on my white silk gown. I, Grace Sullivan, 23 and untouched by love, stand before a man I barely know, my heart a stone in my chest. Rain taps the stained glass windows, a soft, relentless rhythm that mirrors the dread pooling inside me. This is no fairy tale. This is a bargain, to save my mother's failing heart and my father's drowning debts. Nathan Caldwell, 36, towers beside me, his presence as unyielding as the oak pews. His eyes, sharp and blue as winter ice, lock onto mine. "This is our duty, Grace," he murmurs, his voice low, a command wrapped in velvet. His tailored suit hugs a frame carved from discipline, and his jaw, chiseled and stern, betrays no warmth. I want to hate him, this stranger who holds my future in his calloused hands. But his gaze stirs something I can't name, a flicker of defiance or fear, or both. My fingers clutch the silver ring on my right hand, a gift from my mother, Eleanor. It's cold against my skin, the only anchor in this storm. I close my eyes, and I'm back in our cramped kitchen. The scent of baking bread thick in the air. Mama's voice, soft and worn, hums an old lullaby as she kneads dough, her hands steady despite the illness stealing her breath. "You're my light, Gracie," she'd say, her smile a fragile promise. That memory is my shield now, but it's not enough to stop the priest's words from binding me to Nathan. "Do you, Grace, take this man?" The question cuts through the fog. My throat tightens. I want to scream, to run, but Mama's hospital bills and Papa's desperate eyes chain me here. "I do," I whisper, the words ash on my tongue. Nathan's hand brushes mine as he slides, a gold band onto my finger. His touch is firm, deliberate, and when his fingers graze the silver ring, a jolt runs through me. "It suits you," he says, his voice softer now, his eyes flickering with something I can't read. My heart stumbles, betraying me, and I look away, furious at myself. The ceremony ends in a blur of organ notes and murmured congratulations. I'm led to a small antechamber to sign the register. My new name, Grace Caldwell, staring back like a stranger's. Nathan stands by the door, his silhouette sharp against the candlelight, watching me. I fumble with my veil, and my father's coat, draped over a chair, catches my eye. As I lift it to hang it properly, a folded paper slips to the floor. My breath catches. It's Mama's handwriting, faded but unmistakable. "Please forgive your father, Gracie." The words hit like a slap, a secret I wasn't meant to find. What has Papa done? My fingers tremble, clutching the letter as questions swarm my mind. "Grace." Nathan's voice pulls me back. He's closer now, his eyes narrowing as he notices the paper. I shove it into my sleeve, my pulse racing. "It's nothing," I say, too quickly. His brow lifts, but he doesn't press. Instead, he offers his arm, the gesture formal, cold. "We're expected outside." I nod, swallowing the lump in my throat, and take his arm. His warmth seeps through his sleeve, unsettling me further. I don't belong in his world of polished marble and whispered deals, but I have no choice. We step into the rain, the crowd's applause muffled by the downpour. My veil clings to my face, and I feel like a bird in a gilded cage, wings clipped. Nathan's grip tightens as we move toward the waiting car, his presence a wall against the world. I glance at him, searching for a crack in his armor, but his face is a mask. Beautiful, unreadable. "What did you expect, Grace?" he asks, catching my stare. His tone is sharp, but there's a shadow of something else. Curiosity, perhaps. "Not this," I reply, my voice steadier than I feel. "Not you." The car door closes, sealing us in a cocoon of leather and silence. Rain streaks the windows, blurring the church's spires. I twist the silver ring, Mama's lullaby echoing in. My mind, that kitchen, those warm nights, feel a lifetime away. I think of her now, lying in a hospital bed, her heart faltering. I think of Papa, his shoulders slumped under the weight of his mistakes. This marriage is their salvation, but it's my prison. The letter burns against my wrist. Its words, a riddle I can't yet solve. Forgive your father. What truth is Mama hiding? Nathan shifts beside me, his gaze fixed ahead. "You don't have to fear me," he says, the words so quiet I almost miss them. I turn, startled, but his eyes remain on the road. It's not fear, I want to say. It's the loss of myself, the life I dreamed of in that tiny bakery, flour-dusted and free. But I stay silent, my fingers tightening around the ring. I won't bend, not yet. The car pulls up to Nathan's mansion, a looming silhouette against the storm. I step out, rain soaking, my gown, and look back at the church fading in the distance. Nathan's hand brushes my elbow, guiding me forward. His touch, steady and sure, sends a shiver through me, and I hate how it lingers. I am Grace Sullivan, I tell myself, not his possession. But as we cross the threshold into his world, the letters wait and Mama's lullaby anchor me. I will uncover the truth, protect my family, and hold fast to who I am, no matter what Nathan Caldwell demands. The mansion smells of sandalwood and secrets, its golden lamplight casting shadows that swallow me whole. I, Grace Sullivan, am a stranger here, a bride bound by duty, my silk slippers silent on polished marble. Nathan Caldwell's home is a fortress, grand chandeliers, velvet drapes, and walls that feel like bars. Each morning, I wake in a bedroom, too vast, the silver ring on my finger my only tether to who I was. Mama's lullaby haunts me, her voice weaving through memories of our bakery's warmth, the scent of vanilla clinging to her apron. But Mama is in a hospital bed now, and I am caged. Nathan appears only at dinner, his presence a storm I can't escape. He sits across the mahogany table, his blue eyes sharp, cutting through the silence. I avoid his gaze, focusing on the clink of silverware, the weight of the ring against my skin. The letter from Mama, hidden in my dresser, burns in my mind. Please forgive your father. What did Papa do? The question gnaws, but I push it down, afraid of the answer. I'm here to save them, not to unravel their past. Days blur into routine, but my heart aches for the bakery, my sanctuary, where flour dusted my hands and Mama's laughter filled the air. I beg Nathan to let me return, expecting refusal. Go, he says, his voice flat, his eyes unreadable. But don't mistake this for freedom. I nod, biting back a retort, and flee to the one place that still feels like home. The bakery's bell jingles as I step inside, the scent of vanilla wrapping me like a hug. Mama is there, frail but stubborn, stirring batter despite her trembling hands. You shouldn't be working, I scold, taking the spoon. She smiles, her eyes crinkling. You're my joy, Gracie. My throat tightens, and I wipe sweat from her brow, my fingers brushing her cool skin. She's fading, I think, and the fear is a knife in my chest. I hug her heartbeat faint against mine, and whisper, I'm here, Mama. The moment is raw, sacred, a flicker of the life I'm fighting for. The bell jingles again, and Nathan steps in, his tailored coat out of place among the flour-dusted counters. My pulse quickens. He sets a small box on the counter. Heart medication, the kind we could never afford. "This is for your mother," he says, his voice low, almost gentle. His eyes meet mine, a spark of warmth breaking through the ice, and I'm caught, unable to look away. Why does he do this? Before I can speak, he's gone, the door swinging shut. I clutch the box, my fingers trembling, Mama's lullaby echoing in my ears. That evening, alone in the mansion, I sift through papers in Nathan's study, desperate for answers about Mama's care. A hospital receipt slips from a folder, stamped, paid in full. Nathan's name is scrawled at the bottom, dated weeks ago. My breath catches. He's been covering Mama's bills silently without a word. Mini twist. Why? Is this control or something else? I press the silver ring to my lips, its cold metal grounding me. Nathan is a puzzle I can't solve, and I hate how his actions tug at my heart. The next day, trouble arrives in the form of Margaret, Nathan's older sister. She strides into the bakery, her heels clicking like a metronome, her perfume sharp and cold. "You don't belong here, Grace," she says, her voice a blade. "This family is no place for a gold digger." I freeze, flour dusting my hands, the sting of her words cutting deep. "I'm here for my mother," I snap, my voice steadier than I feel. I seat the ring, its edges biting my skin. Margaret's eyes narrow, but she leaves without another word, her warning lingering like poison. Back in the mansion, I pace my room, the letter from Mama heavy in my pocket. Margaret's accusation claws at me, but Nathan's secret payment looms larger. Why hide his kindness? I think of Mama, her fragile smile, and Papa, his eyes shadowed with guilt. This marriage was meant to save them, but it's unraveling me. I sit on the bed, the silk coverlet cool under my hands, and pull out the letter. "Please forgive your father." The words blur as tears well up. I need to know the truth, but fear holds me back. What if it breaks us all? Nathan's footsteps echo in the hall, and I shove the letter away. He pauses at my door, his shadow spilling across the floor. "Dinner is ready," he says, his voice clipped. I nod, standing, my hand smoothing my dress. I'm not his prisoner, I tell myself, but his gaze, piercing and unyielding, makes me doubt it. As I follow him, the ring presses against my finger, a reminder of Mama's strength. I think of her in that bakery, stirring batter, believing in me. For her, I'll endure this cage. For her, I'll face Nathan, Margaret, and the secrets threatening to tear my family apart. I take my seat at the table, Nathan across from me, his eyes locked on mine. The lamplight flickers, casting his face in shadow. "You went to the bakery today," he says, not a question. "It's my home," I reply, my voice firm. I see at the ring, defiant. His lips twitch, almost a smile, but he says nothing more. The silence is heavy, charged, and I realize I'm not just fighting for Mama and Papa. I'm fighting for myself. This gilded cage won't hold me forever. The garden behind Nathan's mansion is a quiet rebellion against his world of marble and steel. At sunset, the sky burns red, painting the wildflowers with a glow that feels alive. I, Grace Sullivan, stand among them. The damp sward clinging to my shoes, my heart raw from Mama's words. Her voice, frail but steady, echoes in my mind from this morning's hospital visit. "Your father betrayed me, Gracie," she said, her eyes distant. "But I forgave him for you and Tommy." The truth cuts like glass, Papa, my hero, a traitor to the woman I love most. I twist the silver ring on my finger. Mama's gift, its cold edges grounding me as shame and anger churn inside. I came here to escape, to breathe, but the weight of the secret follows me. The letter I found on my wedding day, "Please forgive your father," makes sense now, but it only deepens the wound. What else are they hiding? The bakery, with its scent of vanilla and Mama's lullabies, feels like a lost dream. I'm fighting to save my family, but I'm losing myself in Nathan's gilded cage. His secret payment for Mama's hospital bills, revealed yesterday, lingers in my thoughts. Why does he hide his kindness? I want to hate him, but his actions defy the cold mask he wears. Footsteps crunch on the gravel path, and I turn to see Nathan, his silhouette sharp against the dying light. His coat is unbuttoned, revealing a glimpse of a crisp shirt stretched over a strong chest. His blue eyes, usually ice, hold a flicker of something softer. Concern, perhaps. "You're upset," he says, his voice low, not a question. I stiffen, my fingers tightening around the ring. "It's not your business," I reply, sharper than I mean. He steps closer, the scent of his cologne, cedar and spice, mixing with the evening air. "I know what it's like to carry shame," he says, his gaze steady. "I left my family for ambition, Grace. It's a regret I'll never outrun." His confession catches me off guard, a crack in his armor. I search his face, expecting a lie, but his eyes are raw, unguarded. "Why tell me this?" I ask, my voice trembling. I step back, the wildflowers brushing my skirt. He hesitates, then reaches for my hand. His fingers, warm and sure, graze my wrist, sending a shiver through me. "Because you're stronger than you know," he says, his voice soft but firm. "Whatever you're facing, you'll endure." His touch lingers, and I don't pull away. For a moment, the garden fades, and it's just us, the sunset binding us in its glow. I want to ask more, but a groundskeeper's call breaks the spell. Nathan releases my hand, his mask slipping back into place. "Dinner's soon," he says, turning away. I watch him go, my heart pounding, the ring heavy on my finger. His words echo. Mama forgave Papa. Nathan regrets his past. Maybe honor isn't about perfection, but about facing our mistakes. The thought steadies me, but it doesn't erase the ache. Later, at the hospital, I sit by Mama's bed, the antiseptic smell sharp in my nose. She's asleep, her breathing shallow, and I trace the lines on her hand, remembering her kneading dough in our bakery. I need her strength now, but I'm afraid to ask about Papa's betrayal. Instead, I return to the mansion, restless, and wander into Nathan's study. Papers are neatly stacked, but one catches my eye. A contract with a red declined stamp. My breath stops. It's a multi-million-dollar deal to redevelop the block where my bakery stands. Nathan's signature is at the bottom, refusing the project. Twist lawn. He's protecting my bakery, my home, from his own sister Margaret, who pushed for the deal. The realization hits like a wave. Nathan, the man I thought cold and controlling, is sacrificing his empire for me. Why? I press the silver ring to my lips, Mama's lullaby humming in my chest. This isn't just duty. It's something deeper, something I'm not ready to name. I think of his hand on mine in the garden, his voice saying I'm strong. My heart races, and for the first time, I see him not as my captor, but as a man haunted by his own regrets, trying to make things right. That night, I sit by the window, the sunset long gone, the sky now a bruised purple. The letter from Mama rests in my lap, its words a quiet plea. Forgive your father. I understand now. Forgiveness isn't weakness. It's courage. Papa's betrayal doesn't erase the family we built, the bakery we loved. And Nathan's sacrifice doesn't erase his coldness, but it changes how I see him. I'm falling for him, I realize, and the thought terrifies me. I sight the ring, its metal warm from my touch. A knock at my door startles me. Nathan stands there, his eyes searching mine. You didn't come to dinner, he says, his voice low, almost gentle. I wasn't hungry, I reply, my gaze steady. I stand, the letter slipping to the floor. He notices but doesn't ask, and I'm grateful. Tomorrow, he says, we'll talk. It's a promise, not a command, and it sends a warmth through me I can't ignore. As he leaves, I pick up the letter, Mama's words clearer now. I'm not just saving my family, I'm finding my own strength, and maybe, just maybe, my own heart. The kitchen in Mama's old house glows under a single bulb, the scent of chamomile tea curling through the air. I, Grace Sullivan, pour a cup for Mama, my hand steady despite the storm inside me. Her frail fingers wrap around the mug, and I brush a strand of gray hair from her face. You make me proud, Gracie, she says, her voice a whisper. I smile, but my heart aches. The bakery, our haven of vanilla and laughter, is safe because of Nathan's sacrifice, refusing a deal to protect it from his sister Margaret. Yet his kindness feels like a chain, binding me tighter to a man I'm beginning to love, and that scares me more than his coldness ever did. Margaret's venom lingers, her words from the bakery cutting deep. You don't belong here. Now, whispers spread through Boston's elite, painting me as a gold digger who trapped Nathan for his wealth. The accusation stings, twisting the silver ring on my finger into a reminder of who I am. Not a schemer, but a daughter fighting for her. Family. Mama's letter, still hidden in my room, haunts me. Please forgive your father. Papa's betrayal, Mama's forgiveness, Nathan's regret, they swirl in my mind, a puzzle of honor and shame I can't solve. I need answers. I leave Mama to rest and take a cab to Nathan's office downtown, the city's lights blurring past like stars in a storm. His building is all glass and steel, the air inside sharp with coffee and ambition. I find him at his desk, papers scattered, his blue eyes narrowing as I storm in. I don't need you, I snap, my voice trembling. I sight the ring, my fingers, white-knuckled. The rumors, Margaret's sneer, and my own fear pour out, unchecked. I'm not here for your money, Nathan. I'm here for my mother. His jaw tightens, and he slams a hand on the desk, the sound sharp in the quiet room. You think I'm that shallow? He retorts, his voice low, laced with hurt. He stands towering over me, his eyes blazing. I falter, caught by the pain in his gaze. Then why? I ask, softer now. I step closer, the ring biting my skin. He exhales, running a hand through his dark hair. I gave up my shares in the company, Grace, he says, his voice raw. To stop Margaret's lies from ruining you. My breath catches. He sacrificed his power, his legacy, to protect my name. The weight of it crashes over me, and I want to reach for him, but pride holds me back. You should have told me, I whisper, turning away. My hands tremble, the ring a cold anchor. He doesn't stop me as I leave, but his silence feels heavier than words. Back at Mama's house, I sit in the kitchen, the tea now cold. The bulb flickers, casting shadows that dance like my thoughts. Nathan's sacrifice mirrors Mama's forgiveness of Papa, a choice to protect, not possess. I think of the bakery, its worn counters holding years of our love. I'm not just fighting for Mama's life, but for the honor we've built, the family we are despite Papa's mistakes. The letter's plea, "Forgive your father," feels like a call to find that honor in myself. A knock at the door startles me. It's Tommy, my brother, his face older than his 25 years. "I heard about the rumors," he says, his voice thick with guilt. He slumps into a chair, his hands fidgeting. "I'm sorry, Gracie. For the debts. For everything." I brace for excuses, but he pulls out a crumpled envelope. "I've been working nights," he says, "paying back what I owe. Nathan helped me get the job." Mini twist. My heart stumbles. Nathan, again, working in the shadows to save us. Tommy's eyes meet mine, earnest, and I see the boy who once chased me through the bakery, laughing. "I'm trying, Gracie," he says. I nod, my throat tight, and hug him, his warmth a piece of home I'd forgotten. The next morning, I return to the mansion, the scent of sandalwood greeting me like an old friend. Nathan is in the dining room, his posture rigid, his eyes guarded. I want to thank him, to ask why he carries my burdens, but Margaret's voice cuts through the air. She's there, her smile cold, her words dripping with disdain. "You're still here, Grace?" she asks, her tone a challenge. I seat the ring, standing taller. "This is my home now," I reply, my voice firm. Nathan's gaze flickers to me, a spark of surprise in his eyes, and I feel a shift, like I'm claiming not just the mansion, but my place beside him. As Margaret leaves, I linger, the weight of Tommy's confession and Nathan's sacrifice pressing on me. I think of Mama, her hands stirring tea, her pride in me. I think of the bakery, safe because of Nathan's choice. I step closer to him, the ring warm against my skin. "We need to talk," I say, my voice steady. He nods, his eyes softening, a silent promise. The lamplight glows, casting us in its warmth, and I realize I'm not just fighting for my family. I'm fighting for us. The letter, Papa's shame, and Margaret's lies can't break me. I'm Grace Sullivan, and I'll find my way, with or without Nathan's shadows. The balcony of Nathan's mansion is a sliver of freedom, bathed in silver moonlight. I, Grace Sullivan, lean against the railing, the night air cold on my skin, the scent of damp earth rising from the garden below. The silver ring on my finger, Mama's gift, glints under the stars, a quiet reminder of her strength. My heart is a tangle of hope and fear. Nathan's sacrifices, saving the bakery, shielding my name, helping Tommy, have cracked the walls I built against him. Margaret's lies, Papa's betrayal, and Mama's plea to forgive weigh heavy. But tonight, I'm here for answers, for him. The door creaks, and Nathan steps out, his silhouette sharp against the warm glow of the mansion. His blue eyes, once icy, now hold a softness that unsettles me. He's unbuttoned his shirt collar, a rare vulnerability, and the cedar scent of his cologne mixes with the night. "You didn't come to dinner?" he says, his voice low, almost tender. I sit the ring, my fingers steady. "I wasn't hungry," I reply, meeting his gaze. I stand straighter, the moonlight casting shadows across my face. He steps closer, the space between us charged, and I feel the pull of him, like a tide I can't resist. "I need you, Grace," he says, the words raw, unguarded. His eyes lock on mine, a storm of longing and regret. My breath catches. This isn't the cold CEO who bound me in a church. This is a man stripped bare. "I lost faith in love long ago," he continues, his voice breaking. "Until you. He reaches for my hand, his fingers warm, trembling slightly. The touch sends a shiver through me, and I don't pull away. "You're not just duty," he says. "You're my reason." His confession is a spark, igniting something deep within me. Fear, yes, but also a truth I've buried. I love him. "I belong to you, Nathan," I whisper, my voice steady despite the racing of my heart. I grasp his hand, my fingers intertwining with his. Not because of vows or debts, but because I love you. The words feel like a release, a bridge between the girl I was and the woman I'm becoming. I step closer, the ring warm against my skin. He pulls me into his arms, his embrace slow, deliberate, his breath warm against my hair. No kiss, just the steady rhythm of his heartbeat, a home I never expected. The moonlight wraps us, and for the first time, I feel free in this gilded cage. A sharp voice cuts through the quiet. "Nathan." Margaret stands at the door, her face pale, her usual venom gone. I tense, but Nathan's arm stays firm around me. "I was wrong," she says, her voice trembling. "I thought Grace would take you from me, but I see it now. You're happier with her." Mini twist. My eyes widen. Margaret, the woman who called me a gold digger, is apologizing. "I'm sorry, Grace," she adds, her gaze meeting mine, raw with guilt. I nod, the ring a quiet strength. "Thank you," I say, my voice soft but firm. She leaves, her footsteps fading, and I exhale, the weight of her hatred lifting. Nathan's hand tightens on mine, his eyes searching. "You didn't have to forgive her," he says. "I didn't," I reply, a small smile tugging at my lips. "But I chose peace." I lean into him, the night air cool against my cheek. He nods, a spark of pride in his gaze, and I feel the shift between us. A partnership, not a prison. The memory of Mama's lullaby hums in my chest, her voice weaving through the vanilla-scented nights of our bakery. I'm not just saving her, I'm honoring her by choosing love over fear. We leave the balcony, stepping into the mansion's living room, where the sandalwood scent lingers under golden lamplight. Mama is there, visiting for the evening, her frail form tucked into a chair. She smiles as we enter, her eyes brighter than they've been in weeks. "You look happy, Gracie," she says, her voice a warm thread pulling me back to our kitchen, our home. I kneel beside her, taking her hand, her skin cool but alive. "I am, Mama," I say, my throat tight. Nathan sits across from us, his gaze soft, and I realize this is what family feels like. Not perfect, but whole. The letter, Mama's plea to forgive Papa, rests in my heart. No longer a burden, but a guide. Papa's betrayal, Nathan's regrets, Margaret's apology. They're threads in a tapestry of honor, woven by choices to heal, not harm. I think of Tommy, working to redeem himself, and Mama, fighting to live. I think of the bakery, safe because of Nathan's sacrifice. I see it. The ring, its metal, a promise. "We'll take care of her, Nathan," I say, my voice steady, a vow of my own. He nods, his hand brushing mine, a silent agreement. "Together," he says, the word a lifeline. The lamplight glows, casting us in its warmth, and I feel Mama's hand tighten in mine. Her lullaby echoes, a melody of love that carried me through darkness. I'm no longer the girl who stood trembling in a church, bound by duty. I'm Grace Sullivan, and I've found my strength, not in escaping this cage, but in building a home within it. Nathan's eyes meet mine, a promise of tomorrow, and I know we'll face whatever comes, side by side. The night stretches on, but the light in this room, in us, will never fade. The bakery hums with the scent of vanilla and yeast, a warm pulse in the heart of our small Boston town. I, Grace Sullivan, stand behind the counter, flour dusting my hands, the silver ring on my finger catching the morning light. This place, our haven of laughter and Mama's lullabies, feels alive again. Nathan, sleeves rolled up, hammers a loose shelf, his usual polished demeanor traded for sweat and sawdust. Tommy, my brother, sweeps the floor, his grin boyish, free of the guilt that once shadowed him. We're rebuilding, not just the bakery, but us. Yet, a quiet fear lingers. Mama's health, fragile as ever, haunts me. The bell jingles as customers trickle in, their smiles a reminder of why I fought for this place. Nathan catches my eye, his blue gaze soft, a silent echo of his confession on the balcony. I need you, Grace. My heart skips, and I look away, still dizzy from admitting I love him. Margaret's apology, her unexpected surrender, has lifted a weight, but the letter from Mama, "Please forgive your father," reminds me that healing isn't done. Papa's betrayal, Nathan's regrets, and Tommy's redemption weave a fragile thread of honor we're all clinging to. "Looks good," Nathan says, stepping back from the shelf, his voice low. He wipes his brow, a rare grin tugging at his lips. "You're not bad at this," I tease, my tone light. I hand him a rag, our fingers brushing, a spark passing between us. "My mother taught me to stay true," he says, his eyes distant. She'd fix things herself, fences, chairs, hearts. His words pull me to my own memories, Mama kneading dough, her hands steady despite her illness. I want to ask about his mother, but Tommy's laugh interrupts, and the moment slips away. We close early and head to a nearby park, the air crisp, golden leaves crunching underfoot. Nathan walks beside me, his presence steady, while Tommy skips ahead, tossing a leaf like a kid. "She'd have loved this," Nathan says, nodding toward the trees. "My mother, she believed in simple things, family, honesty." He pulls the silver ring I gave him from his pocket, rolling it between his fingers. "This means more than you know." My throat tightens. I touch my own ring, Mama's gift, its warmth a tether. "It's a promise," I say, my voice soft, "to keep fighting." His eyes meet mine, bright with something deeper than words. Slip the ring onto his finger, my touch lingering. "I'll cherish it," he says, his voice a vow. He grasps my hand, his warmth grounding me. The park fades, and it's just us, the leaves falling like confetti around our promise. Tommy's shout pulls us back. He's chasing a squirrel, laughing, and I smile, seeing the brother I thought I'd lost. This is what Mama fought for, what Nathan's sacrifices protected. I'm not just saving the bakery, I'm saving our family's heart. That night, Mama takes a turn for the worse. The hospital call comes like a punch, and I rush to her side. Nathan driving through the dark, his hand tight on mine. The sterile smell of antiseptic stings my nose as I sit by her bed, her face pale, her breathing shallow. I hold her hand, her skin cool, and whisper, "Stay with me, Mama." My ring presses into my palm, a lifeline. Nathan stands by the door, his eyes shadowed, giving me space but never leaving. I'm terrified, but his presence anchors me. A silent promise we'll face this together. In her room, I find a small box among Mama's things, a second letter tucked inside. My hands tremble as I open it, her handwriting faint but clear. "Live for yourself, Gracie, not for me." Mini twist. The words hit like a sob. All this time I thought I was fighting for her, but she wants me to find my own joy. Tears blur my vision, and I clutch the letter, Mama's lullaby echoing in my chest. She's not just my reason to endure. She's my guide to live. I see it. The ring, its metal warm, a symbol of her love. Nathan steps closer, his hand on my shoulder, steady and sure. She's strong, like you, he says, his voice low. His fingers brush my cheek, wiping a tear. I can't lose her, I whisper, my voice breaking. You won't, he says, his eyes fierce with conviction. He pulls me into his arms, his heartbeat a rhythm I cling to. The hospital fades, and it's just us, bound by love and loss. I think of Tommy, working to redeem himself, and Mama, fighting to stay. I think of Nathan, giving up his empire for me. Honor isn't just sacrifice. It's choosing to love, even when it hurts. Back at the mansion, I sit by the window, the letter in my lap, the sandalwood scent soft around me. Mama's words, live for yourself, are a call to embrace this life, with Nathan, with my family. I twist the ring, its edges smooth from my touch. The bakery, the park, this moment, they're pieces of a home we're building, not perfect, but ours. Nathan joins me, his hand finding mine, his ring glinting beside mine. We'll get through. This, he says, his voice a promise. I nod, leaning into him, the night quiet, but full of hope. Mama's lullaby carries me forward, and I know, whatever comes, I'm ready, not just to save, but to live. The hospital room hums with the steady beep of machines, the antiseptic smell sharp in my nose. I, Grace Sullivan, sit by Mama's bedside, her hand cool in mine, her face pale under the fluorescent light. The silver ring on my finger, her gift, presses into my palm, a tether to the bakery days when her lullaby filled our kitchen with warmth. Last night's letter, live for yourself, Gracie, burns in my heart, a call to embrace life even as fear claws at me. Mama's heart is failing, and I'm helpless, a daughter bound by love, but powerless against time. Nathan stands by the window, his silhouette rigid against the dawn's gray light. His blue eyes, once cold, now hold a quiet strength that anchors me. He hasn't left my side since Mama's collapse, his presence a lifeline through the long hours. I sigh at the ring, its metal warm from my touch. The bakery, Tommy's redemption, Nathan's love, they're pieces of a home we've fought for. But this moment tests everything. I think of Papa's betrayal, Mama's forgiveness, and Nathan's sacrifices, saving the bakery, shielding, my name, helping Tommy. Honor, I'm learning, is in these silent acts, not grand gestures. A nurse enters, her voice soft but urgent. The surgery's scheduled for today. It's costly, but it's been covered. My eyes snap to Nathan. His jaw tightens, but he doesn't look at me. Who paid? I ask, my voice trembling. The nurse hesitates, then says, Mr. Caldwell arranged it. My breath catches. Twist lawn. Nathan has given up another piece of his empire, a major project, I later learn, to fund Mama's operation. He's poured his wealth into saving her, without a word, without expecting thanks. I stand, my hands shaking, the ring, biting my skin. Why didn't you tell me? I whisper, stepping toward him. He turns, his eyes raw, unguarded. You've carried enough, he says, his voice low, almost breaking. He reaches for me, his fingers grazing my arm. I did it for you, Grace. The words hit like a wave, and I'm undone. I fall into his arms, my face pressed against his chest, his heartbeat a steady rhythm. You've given me everything, I murmur, tears soaking his shirt. His arms tighten, a vow without words. In this sterile room, with Mama's life hanging in the balance, Nathan is my home. his love a light in the dark. The door opens, and Tommy rushes in, his face flushed, a small envelope in his hand. "Gracie, I got this for Mama," he says, breathless. He presses the envelope into my hand, his eyes bright with pride. It's money. His savings from the job Nathan secured for him, every cent scraped together to help with Mama's care. "I'm making things right," he says, his voice thick. He grips my shoulder, a brother reclaiming his place. My throat tightens and I hug him, his warmth the echo of the boy who chased me through the bakery. Tommy's redemption, like Nathan's sacrifice, is a silent act of honor, a step toward healing our fractured family. Hours later, the surgery ends, and Mama wakes, her eyes clearer than I've seen in months. I sit beside her, holding her hand, the ring glinting under the hospital light. "You're still here, Gracie," she whispers, a faint smile on her lips. Her fingers trace mine, weak but alive. "Always," I say, my voice breaking. Then, she speaks, her words slow, deliberate. "Your father gave up everything to protect us," she says. "He took the blame for a deal gone wrong, to keep us safe." Twist lawn. My heart stops. Papa's betrayal wasn't infidelity. It was a sacrifice, a secret he carried to shield us. Tears spill down my cheeks. The letters plea. "Please forgive your father. Now a truth I embrace." I look at Nathan, standing by the door, his eyes soft with understanding. He knew, I realize, knew Papa's truth and never pushed me to face. And I stand, crossing to him, my hand finding his. "Thank you," I say, my voice steady, a vow of my own. His fingers intertwine with mine, the ring he wears, my gift, glinting beside mine. "We'll build a family, Grace," he says, his voice a promise. He pulls me close, his breath warm against my hair. The hospital fades, and it's just us, bound by love and the sacrifices that brought us here. That evening, we stand outside the mansion, the sunset painting the sky crimson, the air cool with the promise of fall. I lean into Nathan, his arms steady around me. Mama's recovery, Tommy's redemption, Papa's truth. They're threads in a tapestry of honor, woven by choices to protect and forgive. The bakery, with its vanilla warmth, waits for us, a home we'll rebuild together. I see it my ring, its edges smooth from my touch. "We're stronger now," I say, my voice firm. Nathan nods, his eyes bright. "Because of you," he replies, his hand tightening on mine. The mansion looms behind us, no longer a cage, but a place of possibility. Mama's lullaby hums in my heart, a melody of resilience that carried me through darkness. I think of her, forgiveness, Tommy's effort, Nathan's love, silent sacrifices that lit our way. I look at Nathan, his face softened by the sunset, and know we'll face tomorrow together. The night falls, but the light of our family, our honor, burns bright, a beacon for the days ahead. I'm Grace Sullivan, and I've found my place, not just in Nathan's arms, but in the life we're building, one sacrifice at a time. The bakery hums with the scent of coffee and fresh bread, the oven's warmth wrapping me like a memory. I, Grace Sullivan, stand behind the counter, my hands dusted with flour, the silver ring on my finger glinting under the morning light. Mama, her cheeks flushed with newfound strength, kneads dough beside me, her laughter soft but bright. Tommy, my brother, stacks trays, his grin wide, free of the shadows that once clung to him. Nathan, sleeves rolled up, pours coffee for a customer, his blue eyes catching mine with a warmth that still makes my heart skip. This is home, not just the bakery, but us, pieced together by sacrifices and love. The bell jingles, and familiar faces fill the shop, neighbors who've known us since I was a girl, their smiles a testament to the life we've rebuilt. Mama's recovery, a miracle born of Nathan's silent generosity, has brought us back to these counters, this vanilla-scented haven. Papa's truth, that his betrayal was a sacrifice to protect us, has healed old wounds, and Tommy's steady work, his redemption, has woven him back into our family's heart. Margaret's apology, though distant now, lingers as a reminder that even broken bonds can mend. I sight the ring, its edges smooth from my touch. Mama's lullaby humming in my chest, a melody of resilience. Nathan slides beside me, his arm brushing mine, the ring I gave him glinting on his finger. "We did good," he says, his voice low, a smile tugging at his lips. He leans closer, the cedar scent of his cologne mingling with coffee. "We did," I reply, my voice soft but sure. I meet his gaze, my heart full. The bakery, once nearly lost, stands because of him. His refusal to let Margaret's greed take it, his funding of Mama's surgery, his faith in Tommy. I think of the mansion, no longer a cage, but a home where we've carved our place. Honor, I've learned, isn't in wealth or perfection. It's in the quiet choices to protect what matters. Evening falls, and we gather in the mansion's living room, the sandalwood scent soft under golden lamplight. Mama sits in her favorite chair, her hands steady as she sips tea, her eyes bright with life. Tommy sprawls on the couch, telling stories of his new job, his laughter a sound I'd feared lost. Nathan and I sit at a small table, a blank sheet of paper before us. "For our future," I say, picking up a pen. My fingers brush his, the ring warm against my skin. "Our story," he says, his voice a vow, his eyes locked on mine. He takes my hand, his touch steady, a promise. We write together, words flowing like a river, promises to care for Mama, to keep the bakery alive, to build a family rooted in love, not duty. I pause, the pen trembling, Mama's lullaby echoing in my heart. Her letters, "Please forgive your father and live for yourself," guided me here, to this moment, where forgiveness and love intertwine. I think of Papa, his sacrifice a silent gift, and Tommy, his effort a bridge back to us. I think of Nathan, who gave up his empire to give me a home. I see at the ring, its weight a beacon. "This is us," I whisper, my voice thick. Nathan nods, his thumb tracing my knuckles. "Forever," he says, the word a light in the dark. Mama joins us, her hand resting on my shoulder. "You've made me proud, Gracie," she says, her voice warm, her smile a mirror of the girl I was in our vanilla-scented kitchen. I cover her hand with mine, her warmth a lifeline. "We're a family," I say, my eyes meeting Nathan's, then Tommy's, then Mama's. The lamplight glows, casting us in its embrace, and I feel the strength of our bonds, forged through pain, redeemed through love. The bakery, this room, these people, they're my heart, my honor, my home. As the night deepens, Nathan and I step onto the balcony, the air cool, the stars sharp above. He pulls me close, his arms a haven, his breath warm against my hair. "I belong to you, forever," he murmurs, his voice a vow that echoes in my soul. I lean into him, the rings on our fingers glinting, twin promises. "And I to you," I reply, my voice steady, my heart full. The mansion, the bakery, the life we're building, they're ours, shaped by the sacrifices we chose, the love we fought for. Mama's lullaby hums within me, a melody of hope that carried us through darkness to this light. The stars fade as dawn nears, but the glow in my heart remains. I think of the letter we wrote, sealed now, a map for our future. I think of Mama laughing in the bakery and Tommy finding his way. I think of Nathan, my partner, my love. I set the ring, its warmth a testament to all we've overcome. This is our story, woven from silent sacrifices, and it's only beginning. To you, listening to this tale, I hope it touched your heart. Share your own story of love and family in the comments below, and subscribe for more journeys like ours. Let's keep the light glowing.